So, Lando Norris takes another victory in Brazil and moves one step closer to winning his first Formula One World Championship. Kimi Antonelli had a fantastic weekend to take second in both the sprint and the race itself, taking his second Formula One podium. And Max Verstappen with an absolute worldie of a drive coming from the pit lane to finish in P3. All three podium finishers with absolutely phenomenal drives, all for different reasons. Lando Norris really asserting his control on this championship now for all the criticism that he had last year about not delivering when it counts. Whatever he's done this year is clearly working because he's come into 2025 with a much better mentality and he is coming good when it matters. And it is another body blow to his teammate Oscar Piastri, who is now 24 points behind after another difficult weekend. He was up in P2, but that collision with Antonelli and Leclerc as a result ended up with him receiving a 10-second penalty, and he ended up P5 on the road. I think, to be honest, the main reason for the 10-second penalty was because Leclerc ended up retiring as a result of that contact. Maybe if Leclerc hadn't been involved, it might have been less severe. But either way, it's another damaging weekend for Oscar Piastri's championship hopes, which are very, very much dwindling now. If I had to put a percentage on it, I would probably say that Lando's got a 90% chance now. He's nearly got a full race buffer in terms of a points distance to his teammate Oscar Piastri. And whilst we're still at the stage where one DNF could still flip everything on its head, I just think that Lando's current form, in contrast to Oscar's, and the sheer momentum that he has got puts him in an almighty position with 3 races left to go. Max Verstappen, despite his incredible heroics, is now 49 points behind Norris and needs an absolute miracle to be in contention again. He basically needs Norris to DNF twice. I very, very highly doubt that could happen. You never know, but it's very, very unlikely. But yeah, Max Verstappen is pretty much out of title contention now, so it is just Norris and Piastri. But a word on Verstappen, obviously struggled with the setup on Saturday. That Red Bull really not clicking at all. He was out in Q1 on merit for the first time since 2017, which just seems absolutely mental. But yeah, brilliant recovery in the race. Obviously, they chose to break park firme, start from the pit lane, put a different setup on, put a new power unit in, and it worked wonders as Verstappen just carved through the field like they weren't even there. I think he was 4th by about lap 22, and he'd stopped twice. Yeah, another incredible drive from Max Verstappen in Interlagos, obviously coming last year from P17 to win the race, and then this year just an almighty drive. And yeah, definitely as brilliant as Lando Norris was and as Antonelli was, it's clear that Verstappen was driver of the day because he was outstanding. Also a word on Kimi Antonelli as well. I mean, 2nd place in the sprint, 2nd place in the race, by far his best weekend in Formula One. And after a very, very difficult mid-season for him, where a lot of people were saying that maybe he got promoted to the Mercedes seat too early, maybe they rushed him in, he has recovered incredibly well, and this weekend he just put it all together. He looked absolutely rapid, could have won the sprint race. I think if he'd had another lap or two, I think he definitely could have taken Lando Norris. But yeah, 2nd in the race as well, by far his best weekend in Formula One. He was absolutely outstanding. Very mature driving at the end to hold off Verstappen, and I like the fact that Pete Bonington just had the confidence in him. He said on the radio, I'm just going to leave you to it. He had that trust that Antonelli could see it through, and he repaid it with a fantastic performance, and hopefully this will give Antonelli the belief that he can kick on to another level. Ollie Behrman with another fantastic weekend in the Haas. After P4 in Mexico, he followed it up with a P6 in Brazil. And after a tricky start to the season himself, he's really starting to put it all together now. He seemed to either qualify well and struggle in the race, or qualify poorly and excel in the race. But he's finally started to put his weekends together now, and we're seeing a much more consistent Ollie Behrman. And hopefully he can continue that into next season because he's really starting to come to the fore now. Tricky weekend for Ferrari. How many times have we said that this year? Leclerc ending up retiring as a result of that contact. He was pretty much an innocent bystander, really. Piastri went into the side of Antonelli, which caused him to hit Leclerc, and there was nothing he really could have done, and it's just unfortunate. And then Lewis Hamilton ended up getting caught up in a lap 1 incident, and he had floor damage as a result. Ferrari left him out. I think they left him out to serve a penalty. so that he avoids taking one in the next race, I believe. I think that's why they kept him out so long. They probably should have parked it up, because Hamilton's race after that was pretty pointless. He was just trundling around at the back, making no progress. But yeah, they made the call to bring him in when they did, and just compounded a very, very miserable weekend. Ferrari now 4th in the Constructors, and their decision to change their design philosophy for this year from last year's car gets more baffling with every race, but that's how it goes. So yeah, Lando Norris very much in the ascendancy. Oscar Piastri needs a miraculous swing in momentum, and Max Verstappen's heroic championship charge appears to finally be over. So that's my take on the Brazilian Grand Prix. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching. Please leave a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're new and you'd like to see more. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next one. If the cat could stop scratching at stuff, that'd be great. See you next time.